So, how are you? How are you doing? It's been a long time. I think the last time we talked was about 1 month ago or more than 1 month ago. I cannot
Yeah, more
remember.
than a month ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
been a good day. I woke up on time. And, after Ramadan, my routine has completely changed. So I'm still, processing that because because of Ramadan, I was waking up
Hmm.
very early and I had some classes in the morning. Then I slept during afternoon. But now I have
Hmm.
to be awake throughout the day. So I feel kind of sluggish, because of my body used to sleeping in the afternoon for the past 1 month. So I'm still coping with that.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, that happens. I mean, actually, I don't usually nap during the daytime,
Mhm.
but today it just somehow happened that I decided to just have a nap for 20 minutes. But the thing with me is that I cannot have a nap for like 20 minutes. It's either 2 hours or it's absolutely nothing. So I don't
Yeah,
understand how,
same here.
yeah, I don't understand how people
And
have nap for like 20 minutes and then they are refreshed. Like, no, that's not the case for me.
I
Did you
feel
want to
more
add?
tired. It feels like there's
Right.
no energy left in me.
Right.
If I'm not caffeinating myself, I'm barely awake in the afternoon. So I
Yeah.
make sure every time that I don't drink anything in the morning. As soon
Hmm.
as it hits 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I caffeinate myself so that I can function till 5 o'clock. Then I have some more
Okay.
food in
Hmm.
the evening. So I try to balance it because, this time I feel like I'm able to do more work. For example,
Hmm.
editing or making notes for my classes, I'm able to do it in the afternoon. So that's why I asked you to schedule our meeting, between 2 to 3.
Right. So you drink coffee. I didn't know. Is that how
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
your
it
day
helps.
goes?
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, otherwise, I can barely, function. I feel like I
Hmm.
have to take a nap. And as you said, 20 minutes is not enough for me. Not for me, also. I feel like I have to sleep at least 2 hours. And when I sleep, I feel so guilty that why the hell am I sleeping in the day?
Hmm. Right.
and they, yeah, we are living in that culture where people talk, and this is true, that people talk about how you have to hustle all the time. But if I'm
Hmm.
not sleeping 8 hours during night, I don't feel fresh in the morning, and then I don't feel like working out. I'm not able to work properly, so it's a lot of issues.
100%. 100%. So I was talking about the exact same thing in one of my videos. I told somebody that I cannot just be sleeping for 6 hours and then be okay with it. I have to have that
Yeah.
8 hour sleep every single day, like
Mhm.
every night. Otherwise, I will be like absolutely sluggish and groggy throughout the day and I'll not be able to do anything. So that's why I was very
Yeah.
confused today because I got a 6 hour sleep yesterday, but then I
Mhm.
felt like I was battling between whether to sleep or not. And then I decided to go with the
Mhm.
sleep, and that's why I was not able to prepare all the questions. So here we are.
Yeah, it's all right. And maybe because of the internet, we are being so conscious of these things, sleeping 8 hours, sleeping 10 hours, or 6 hours. But I think how our body feels, we need to understand that, right? If 8 hours is enough for you or 6 hours is enough for you, then go with that.
Hmm. Right. I have tried actually. I love to sleep. I'm somebody that loves to sleep. You can ask my mom. She
Hmm.
knows. So yeah.
Earlier when I was a kid, maybe around 14, 15, I
Hmm.
hated taking a nap in the afternoon. My mom always
Hmm.
told me you have to sleep. You have to sleep in the afternoon because I'm from Bihar, and here during April, May, it gets really dry. Warm.
Hmm.
What do we call that here? Loo को क्या बोलते हैं in English? Loo,
Yeah,
I
it's
think it is
it's
called
called
loo.
Lou. Yeah.
No. So
Hmm.
we have to go through that. And because of that, my mother made sure that we were sleeping in the afternoon. But I hated that time. But now, if I'm able to sleep in the afternoon, I feel so nice. But at the same time, I feel guilty that why am I
Hmm.
sleeping?
You know what? Afternoon nap hits like a truck. I don't want to say truck, but you kind of pass out. You're not sleeping in the afternoon. You kind of pass out. You don't know what time it is, what planet it is.
Exactly. You forget your existence. And there is this guy Huberman. Earlier I was struggling a lot with my sleep, and I was not using coffee or caffeinating myself in the morning or in the afternoon, but I watched his daily routine and I
Hmm.
got inspired. Maybe I should try that. So earlier I thought that maybe it's just a myth, maybe they're just selling their product and it doesn't help. But
Hmm.
once I was spending a lot of time on my desk, I thought I need to try coffee. I don't smoke cigarette. I'm not a chai guy. So I thought let's try plain black coffee. So I did that, and it gives that extra 2 hours of push. You can do it. So it helps.
Okay, well, I always wanted to ask somebody who drinks coffee every day because I don't drink coffee every day. Although I do have
Hmm.
tea, but I'm not like an extreme tea lover or something like that. It's like if there's tea,
Hmm.
then I'm okay with it. If there's not, then I'm still okay with it. I'm that kind of person. But what happened was like during my college exams in BTech, I had to pull an all-nighter. So for that, I used to drink
Hmm.
coffee. And after like 5 to 6 days, like the coffee isn't like it's not effective anymore. Is that the
Maybe
case with
I,
you
I have
guys as
never
well?
pulled a whole night. I
Okay.
don't drink coffee at night at all. You know what? I make sure that I'm not drinking it after 4 o'clock, because if I
Hmm.
drink it after four, I'm not able to sleep till 2 o'clock. Even
Right.
though I'm tired, my body doesn't want to sit, but I just can't sleep. So I
Hmm.
always drink around 12, 1 o'clock, to make sure
Hmm.
that I have that extra 2 hour of work.
Well,
And
I
you
think.
you you mentioned that that light you feel headaches in the
Hmm.
morning when you wake up or after a nap. I was reading
Yeah.
this fictional book about this character who has different personality, and she changes personality. And I was thinking, why the hell she is always talking about these headaches after drinking?
Hmm.
But I also go through that. Without drinking, I get those headaches. It's not a bad health issue, but I think because of lack of sleep, or maybe
Hmm.
I'm pushing too hard some days.
Right. Well, about the caffeine intake, what I think I was watching on Discovery maybe one day, and it is
Hmm.
true that like when you are taking caffeine every single day, you kind of
Hmm.
have to increase the intake like after a few
Yeah,
weeks
it
because
depends.
then
It depends.
the previous amount doesn't affect like it used to.
Yeah.
So that was the case with me
Mhm.
during college. I had to like, and then I realized, wow, I'm basically drinking like one whole you could say like I was taking 2 to 3 spoons in one cup, which is not okay.
Okay,
Like, yeah, so
that's too
that's,
strong.
yeah, so that's what
You know
was
what? You
happening.
should you should watch this episode of Dr. Huberman, where he shares all the science behind caffeine and coffee. And there's
Mm.
some expensive stuff too, but basic stuff is fine. I have tried a few, so I think basic is fine. You can watch that episode.
Okay, I'll give it a try. What streaming platform should I
Ah,
like?
YouTube podcast. Dr.
Oh,
Huberman.
okay. All right, so that's a podcast. That's great. I love podcasts. And actually,
Yeah,
for my channel as well, I was thinking like maybe one day I could convert it into a podcast. That would be amazing because
yeah.
usually, as of now, it's just having conversation with people, keeping in mind
Mhm.
that we help audience become fluent at English, right? So yeah, maybe
Yeah, you know
someday.
what? I'm also trying to have a podcast, which I already had, Sasta podcast, but
Hmm.
I'm running out of guests. I wish we were in same town or same city. We could have recorded like a
Yeah,
real
I
life
was
one,
thinking the same
because
thing. You have
it feels repetitive.
I have watched one or two of your Sasta podcasts. One was with a girl. I think she's a
So that,
friend of yours. Yeah. So you
mm.
ordered some shakes, right? Like strawberry shake or
Yeah,
something. That I really enjoyed that one a lot. So at that time, I
yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking like I wish we were in the same city. We could have recorded one.
Mm. And you know what? This kind of videos where people are approaching you to learn English, it kind of feels repetitive. I'm not doing it all the
Hmm.
time these days.
Hmm.
On weekends, and I think solo videos take time, but it's worth it. Even though I'm not getting enough views, like less than
Hmm.
a thousand or around 1,000, but I think I'm able to articulate my ideas clearly, and there is a topic that I'm dealing with, and it's more helpful
Hmm.
for my growth also in
Right.
future.
Yeah. Some people do try to transition. Actually, what happens is why most of us are not able to transition is because we are
Hmm.
scared. Because when we transition, our
Yeah,
niche changes, and then we're like,
exactly.
what if our channel dies? Because that really does
Hmm.
happen with some of the people. So that's the reason why
It
some people
happens.
are never able to transition. So that's why I was thinking for my podcast, maybe I could gradually have this transition while always keeping in
Hmm.
mind that the audience are getting what they are here for, which is like fluency in English. So that's what I
Hmm.
was thinking, but I think it would take me some time to be able to achieve
And I
that.
think our channels are quite new.
Hmm.
Like my ID is old, but I recently started putting content these days. But
Hmm.
even for your case, you are new here, I'm new here. So we can experiment, different ideas,
Hmm.
different topics actually. So I think maybe if the audience enjoys or they learn, they can
Hmm.
definitely stick with us.
Yes, for sure. All right. So for today's topic, which was like um are villains actually
Villains.
the villains? Like the villains that we see in the
Hmm.
movies, are they actually
Hmm.
villains? So what I think is that's a very subjective thing. For some movies, it's a
Yeah.
straight up yes, like they are villains. But for some of the
Hmm.
movies, it can be a fifty
They are
fifty.
so
For
well
example,
written.
yeah, for example, we are both, we have both watched like, what is it called? Death Note, right?
Death Note, yes.
Yeah,
Yagami, are you talking about it?
yeah. So I'm talking
Yeah.
about Light Yagami and L. So
Hmm.
like the fight between
Yeah.
them, um, I was always with L, but I
Hmm.
understand like Light Yagami's perspective. So whose side were
Hmm.
you on? Actually, I don't think I asked you that previously.
Actually, I don't want to take any side here. You
Hmm.
mentioned that they are so. You talk about. Can you repeat the first sentence you said?
About which
About
one?
villains. There are some of them are straight psychos. You don't
Hmm.
want to be at their side.
Yeah, but
But I
sometimes
am.
it's subjective whether like it becomes
Yeah.
questionable, like whether they really villains. So sometimes that uh
Mhm.
creeps in
That's
our mind.
subjective, definitely. Hmm.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of skills to write them in a manner that you can create a subjective question, whether you want to support them or you want to go against them. I'm a guy who is more into character because
Hmm.
if the characters are good, a story is definitely going to be great.
Yes.
This is what I believe. And I have read so much fiction that I can understand their perspective, why they have turned out to be a villain
Hmm.
because of their circumstances or maybe the way they think.
Hmm.
And of course, we'll talk about Yagami, but have you read Harry Potter or have you watched the movies? Harry
Unfortunately,
Potter?
like I've only watched one movie. I've never read it,
Hmm.
but it
Yeah.
was in the library, in our school library. There were like one or two, but I think there's a big sequence of Harry Potter's, right?
Yeah, seven books are there.
Okay, so I only had like two there, so I thought, and it
Let me
wasn't even.
confirm it. I think seven,
Hmm.
two, six, two, four, six. Yeah, total seven books are there.
You have the entire collection with
Yeah, yeah.
you? That's amazing.
Yes, yes. I
Okay,
love Harry Potter.
okay. Oh
Yeah,
well,
and
that's
let's
cool.
not let. Yeah, yeah. Please complete yourself.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, that I had only two books in the library, in my school library.
Hmm.
So, and those weren't even the first ones. So I thought like there's no point of reading them. And that's why I was
Yeah.
never able to read them, although I wanted to. So I've only watched one movie and I don't even remember like exactly which one it was. I think maybe it was the first one when he goes to the magic school, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's the first part. So
Yeah.
actually, he goes to magic school almost in every part, but I think
Okay.
he was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes, he
it's
was
a
a
great
kid.
book. Yeah. So you know what? If somebody has watched Harry Potter, have read it, they can relate
Hmm.
with this character Snape. There is this character Snape, long hair, and you know the way he's portrayed throughout the series, we think that he's a villain. I don't want
Hmm.
to spoil anything, but he is the villain. But there is something about him which you read, which will make you
Hmm.
cry. I always cry reading that line, and it hits me always. Like the way some characters can be written that you hate them, then just a single sentence, just a single chapter can change your whole perspective. That why they were acting that way, why they were really thinking that way.
Hmm.
So yeah, light Yagami is also quite paradoxical. I would say that some people
Hmm.
are with him, and then some
Right.
people go against him. But it is understandable what he was doing there. But
Hmm.
L is really cool. You know what? The games that they play, I really like that sequence. You know that mind game they are playing.
Hmm.
I mean, Death Note is just irreplaceable in terms of anime,
Yes,
and
it's
writing it's just top
hmm.
notch.
What I personally felt was like the until the girl came into the light,
Yeah,
the
he was
movie,
cool, but then he.
yeah, it kind of took a turn. Like there was a second book, and then it became kind of confusing. Before
Hmm.
that, I think L was almost about to get light. Yeah, right. Like he was about to catch him, but then
Yeah, it's
because of
been
the
so
second
long
book,
since I've watched it. But you
okay.
mentioned about his girlfriend. He started acting like a real psychopath. I think after the girl was introduced.
I think he started acting like that even before she came there. What happened was like Light had this motive. He had a strong belief of justice, that justice should be
Hmm.
served and criminals should be killed. And those who were like roaming outside or even in jail, he wanted all of
Hmm.
them dead. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the system wasn't running that way. So like what he does is, I mean, he finds this book where
Death
he can
Note.
like, just write somebody's name and think about their image, and then that
Hmm.
person would be dead. I think he can
Yeah.
decide how they die. If he doesn't specify, like they'll die of a heart attack. But if he does specify, like this is how they will die at exactly this moment, for example, they'll get hit by a truck, then that's how they will die. So that was the
Oh,
book.
I don't remember that part. I thought
Okay.
most of them died by heart attack.
Yeah, most of them died by heart attack. That's because he never wrote like how they will die. So that's a by
Oh.
default. If he doesn't
Mhm.
write how they die, they'll die by a heart attack.
Mhm.
So that's how most of them
And
died.
what's that devil guy is called? That the guy who loves apple.
Shinigami,
Uh,
Shinigami.
Sinigami. Yeah, I think Sinigami is like us. He's just there. He's
Hmm.
not supporting anyone. He let whatever L wants to do. He just let him do.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's just there. He's a cool dude actually. He doesn't support anybody, and
Yeah.
he and
It's,
like Light is there losing his mind, and he wants like to like I think he talks to Shinigami like first like how what's going on, and Shinigami never helps him out, and then so Light just has
yeah.
to figure out everything on his own. So yeah, that was
Exactly.
amazing. I would say like for the first half, I was definitely with Light Yagami because yes, criminals need to
Mm.
be served.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
what
But then the way he
changed?
started acting.
Yeah. So the thing that changed was that he thought that he was the god. That's when things changed. That's like you can
Mhm.
feel that transition in him. Like he was
Power got over
really,
him.
yeah.
He started thinking maybe he can control everything.
Yes, exactly. That's when the change occurred. And that's when he started acting like a maniac. And then he was killing innocent people as well, like the police officers and stuff, because they
Yeah,
were
just
in
to
his
cover
way.
up what he was doing, I guess.
Yeah,
It's been so long. I think more than 5 years since I watched that show, but I still
me as
remember
well.
like how cool it felt.
Yes, me also, because that was the first anime that I ever watched. And that is my absolute favorite one. So that's why I remember it so clearly, even until this day.
Hmm.
Although when that
Yeah,
girl came around, it pissed me off because it really kind of ruined the momentum between L and Light Yagami. Yeah, so what were we
you
talking
can
about?
continue. We were talking about Light Yagami, and then the
Hmm.
girl came, and
Yeah,
everything. He turned a real psycho. He turned into a real psycho.
yeah. I don't remember the ending, but I think L gave out his name intentionally to Light Yagami.
Totally, I don't exactly. I don't
Yeah.
remember what happened, but
Hmm.
the real life interaction with them. I think when they were playing tennis. Do you remember that scene?
No.
No. So yeah, the ending I've completely forgotten, but there are some highlights which I remember, and mostly because of Light and L. The interactions they were having. And as
Hmm.
I told you, it's been so long. But I can name few of my favorite, villains. Let me know if you
Hmm.
know any of them.
Okay.
Have you watched Whiplash, that drum movie
Hmm.
where the guy? No.
No. What is it
No, do
about?
check it out. It's about obsession. There is this guy who wants to become the best drummer of all time, and he goes
Oh.
into this big music college, and there he meets
Hmm.
Fletcher, who is the teacher, and he is a real piece of. I won't say the last word. You will have to beep, but he pushes him to the end. Like it's really cool the way they talk. It looks cool to us, but the way he pushes the main character is really horrifying. But
Hmm.
the ending, the conversation between them, is just so good. It's about obsession. You will love it.
Is
He
it on
just wanted to
Netflix?
become. I guess it is.
I
I
love
guess.
obsession
I
movies.
Same here. You know what? Sometimes I feel like I'm also becoming one of those characters, just obsessing about
Hmm.
whatever I'm doing.
Hmm.
And in V Plus, he pushes everything away, even his social life. Not he doesn't. He breaks up just because he
Hmm.
wants to become the greatest musician of or drummer of all time.
Hmm.
His father, he just has his father with him, and like the whole thing is about becoming the best drummer of all time. So it's a very good movie and so entertaining, and it's not even that long. I think 100 minutes, under 100 minutes.
Hmm. That's one thing that
Yeah,
I love about Hollywood movies. It's a Hollywood movie, right?
yeah, it's a Hollywood one.
Yeah, so
It's a
they
good
are
one.
usually under 100 or 110 minutes maximum. But for
Yeah.
but for us, our movies are like 3 and 3.5 hours long. Like we don't even
Uh,
have attention span of this long. And then movie gets boring. And most of the parts, if you see,
exactly.
are like very much stretched out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
filler. It's just filler,
hmm,
filler, and nothing else. And then they add music. I'm not
yeah.
complaining. We have great movies in our country, but
Hmm.
most of them are shit, right?
Yes, that's true. That's
Even
true.
the recent one came. I think it's Salman Khan's movie. What it is called, Sikandar. and my friend wants to watch it, and I'm begging her, please let's wait for another month. Maybe some other
Mm.
movie will come, because I'm from a small town. We don't get to watch Hollywood films. If we want to watch, we'll have to travel to another town. So
Oh.
we have to travel. So, and yeah, by any chance have you watched One Piece? This anime, One Piece.
No, but um, no, but I've heard
It's a
about it.
Yeah, it's a very long one. Even there is this character Doflamingo. His backstory is
Mm.
also great. Uh,
Mm.
very moving. And some other, any chance? This one, Walter White,
Wow, I think I've
Breaking
not
Bad.
watched anything.
Okay,
Breaking Bad, is that a movie or is it a series?
it's a web show. It's a series.
Right.
It's a TV series. Hmm.
Yeah. Does
What?
it
Who are
does
your
it have a
favorite villains? Like apart from Yagami, do you have any other?
do I have you watched Megamind?
Mega Man, yes, that big guy with that big
Yeah.
brain,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
animated movie.
Yeah. So I love him a
I
lot.
felt sad for him. You know, that
Hmm.
way. I don't remember exactly because I watched it when I was a kid, but
Hmm.
I felt really bad for him. The way
Yeah.
nobody paid attention to him, right?
Yeah. And you know what? That's the origin of 99% of villains. If you see, they
Yeah.
become villains. Like,
Mhm.
if I were to take villain's side, like, if I were to be their lawyer, that's what I would say. Like, look at their past. They were always
Yes.
nice in the past. They always wanted to have friends. They wanted to have a loving family, but they unfortunately never had those things. Maybe their parents died. Maybe their parents never cared about them. And when it comes to their social life at
Okay.
school, everybody bullied them. Nobody was their
Mhm.
friend. They were introverts. And so, like,
Yeah.
that's when they start feeling like everybody is a terrible person. And that's when
Yeah.
they kind of start transforming into this villain. That's what
Mhm.
happens. Like,
And
if I feel like if even if one single person would have stood for them, uh, a
yeah,
nice
they would
person,
have
they
turned out differently.
yes, so they would have thought like not everybody is mean, not everybody is bad
Mhm.
a person, right?
I think the things happens with main character, especially the one who are good. They find
Hmm.
somebody who can understand them. That's why
Hmm.
they don't turn into a villain or something like that.
Right.
You know, I'm reading this book called. It's a book series by Brandon Sanderson,
Hmm.
Stormlight Archive. I guess we talked about it last time also. So it's a long book series,
Hmm.
and there is this character called Kaladin, not Aladdin, Kaladin,
Hmm.
and he is now my all-time favorite actor. And he's not like any villain, but
Hmm.
he struggles a lot. Like he is not happy every time. Like he's always looking for some reasons to, like he always thinks about his past, and his past is really dark. I mean, and it's a fantasy book, so he has been a slave. He tried to become a soldier, doctor, but the way Brandon has written this character is just so good. You will always root for him. So I like
Hmm.
characters like Kaladin, not a villain, but they are always thriving to become a better person.
Hmm.
You know, by any chance, have you watched or read Berserk, this manga, or you might have heard
Hmm.
about it,
No,
Berserk?
I haven't even
No,
heard about it. How is that possible? I've not heard about it.
are you into manga anime? I think you
Um,
watch anime only.
yes, yes, not manga, just anime.
Hmm.
How do you get
All
mangas?
right.
Are they available in India?
I'm a pirate. You know what?
Okay.
Must like I get original books, but
Hmm.
mangas are really expensive. I can't afford them.
Hmm.
So I try to pay the authors I love.
Hmm.
You know, I get original copies, but when it comes to manga, I just pirate them. I don't have that big budget to get
So
everything
I've
I
never
want to
seen a
read.
manga before. Like, how, isn't it in Japanese? So like they sell the
No.
English version as well. Is that the
Yeah,
case?
they sell.
Okay.
It's like comics, but black and white. And you
Hmm.
have to read it right to left, not left to right. Most of the manga.
Okay, I thought it was vertical. I thought it was from top to bottom. Is it
Yeah,
from?
that's like, but right to left, right? You come right to left.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
so is that Chinese? Which one is it? Like they read from top to bottom.
I don't know. But mangas are like Japanese, and there are
Hmm.
some Chinese manga also, but I'm not sure. I have read one webtoon, but it is
Hmm.
like straight. You just have to go up like this.
Hmm.
So that's a different one. Webtoon, manga. I mean, once you get into that world, you will find out yourself that it's a big rabbit hole, and will keep
Hmm.
finding good stuff, and you won't be able to stop.
Yeah, I think that becomes an obsession. And I feel
Yeah.
like I'm the kind of person who could easily be persuaded and become obsessed with anything. So I try to keep it moderate. Because
Yeah, yeah.
once in 2020, I started watching psychological thrillers and I loved them so
Hmm.
much. I kept watching them. I think I started living in movies at that point. So,
Same here, same here. I think lockdown made us, like during that time, we were consuming just too much media,
hmm,
different stuff. And that was the time I think anime got really popular in our country, anime, manga.
yeah, a lot
And
of stuff
and
actually.
yeah, and because of that, my English got better. I was
Hmm,
able to comprehend this language. So I did nothing during that time but watched a lot of movies, good web
hmm,
shows, and I feel that there is just so much good content on the
hmm.
internet and in the world that our life is too small to get to know all of these stories. Have you watched Game of
Sometimes,
Thrones?
no, I don't think I'll watch it as much as I
Why?
know about it. I don't know. I'll just not watch it.
I have forgotten the character name, but
Okay.
you know what? Most of the people love this guy. But once the story progress, you will kind of realize why they became like that. It's
Okay.
paradoxical. I would again say it's debatable, but
Hmm,
you have to keep an open mind for that. That why they turned out like that. And
hmm,
the ending, people complain a lot. Even I complained a lot because the ending kind of turned out messy. But the
hmm.
book, maybe in future, if I become rich enough and I have time to spend on reading mindlessly anything, I would definitely read Game of Thrones in future.
Okay, well, that's
It's,
cool.
it's just so good. It's one of my favorite series, and
Hmm.
I don't know whether people are watching. They should stay away from it if they don't have that, mindset to be opened about stuff.
Okay. So you have to have an open mind to watch that. That's what you're saying?
Yes, it's a great story. I mean, I don't like 80% of people love it, so you don't
Hmm.
have to go with the majority. But I understand why people can dislike it.
Hmm.
But it's a great story. The building, the world building, even the villains, and the whole setup. It is just talking about it wants me to rewatch it.
Is it that good? I think it has 7 seasons, right?
Yeah, 7 or 8 season. But the
Hmm.
book is incomplete, so they have original ending. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's worth the time investment. You can maybe if you have time, you should definitely check it out.
Okay, so we don't know about the original ending then, because if the book
Yeah,
is
we
not
don't know.
completely out. Oh, that's
No.
cool. Now that's what makes it interesting, right?
Yes.
Do you have any
But
idea when will it come out?
I have no idea because the author hasn't announced anything. He's writing
Hmm.
something new. So we can't even think that whether we are going to get a final ending from the original author or not. He's alive, by the way, so we have chances.
Yeah, no, you when you said that I thought he died or something. Okay.
He's
Well,
alive.
what? Why would he not complete this and move on to something else? How could he do that?
They are big books, and like
Hmm.
5 or 6 books are there. I'm not sure about it, but
Hmm.
they are big books. And I haven't watched any interview because I watched it during lockdown and only watched it, like didn't
Hmm.
read, and I didn't even know that there was a book. Otherwise, I would have waited and read the book instead. But now
Hmm.
I don't want to invest that much time reading because
Right.
this Stormlight Archive has took 4 months of my life. Every night I am debating myself whether I should study something for my syllabus, my exams, or
Hmm.
should finish that goddamn book. It's just so good.
Which exam are you giving, by the way?
Um, I haven't decided, but I'm going to pursue masters, so maybe I will
Oh,
have to prepare for UGC net. I'm going with that.
okay. So you want to
So
become a professor in English literature then?
I would try. Let's see how it goes because I'm enjoying this process of studying literature. I
Hmm.
have always been fond of stories, but when you have to actually study it, it takes a
Hmm.
lot of effort, time investment, and
Hmm.
and there is no guarantee whether you are going to qualify for that exam or not. Because if you see the reviews or if you
Hmm.
watch some interviews, people say that it's a vast syllabus. There is
Hmm.
no limit that this is where you have to start and this is where you have to end. So I'm
I
kind of
actually
skeptical about it.
talked to somebody about it and she cleared UGC net and now she's preparing for JRF. So I think it's
Yeah,
the
so it's
same
more
exam, but
difficult.
so she said that
Yeah,
only top 6% qualify for
get the
UGC net.
JRF. Yeah,
Uh,
only six
and
percent.
top 1% for JRF. That's what she said.
Top 1%. Now
Yeah,
you're
that's what she
making me
said.
scared now.
No, that's what she
So
said.
I think once you go into that 1%, you also get some scholarship. It's not
Hmm.
called scholarship. There is a different word for that. I don't know what it is called.
Yeah, that's no, she
for
said like
doing
it's for the
PhD.
scholarship. Yeah, you get scholarship for PhD when you enter the top
Mhm.
1%. That's what she told me
Yeah,
actually.
but it takes a lot of time. But
Hmm.
I'm paying more attention to building this my own English kind of content,
Hmm.
because I got an offer, local gig in local area. They want me to teach in a
Hmm.
hostel. So I think I can give them 2 hours or 1 hour, and I'm enjoying my time here teaching on the internet. Like I'm like it's a freelancing thing. Sometimes you
Hmm.
get a lot of students, and sometimes you feel you are scared whether it's gonna stay longer or where you will be able to sustain it or not.
Hmm.
But at the moment, I'm being hopeful that if people enjoy my content, they will definitely reach out.
Freelancing is so much better than the other things. What I personally believe. Like
Yeah,
we've
it's
discussed
true.
this in our previous one also. I remember your own master. You can decide your timings, flexibility, and everything. And
Hmm.
most importantly, you're doing the things that you truly want to do. So I think, yeah, that's
Hmm.
amazing. But yeah, side by side, you can definitely think about pursuing masters. Although I never
Yeah.
understood those books, Shakespeare, or I don't know, like they have really complicated thou
But
the
you know
kind
what,
of.
Niyati? Once you get into the world of literature, and if you are truly interested in,
Hmm,
it becomes really fascinating. I hated William Shakespeare before.
hmm,
Like it may sound pretentious to somebody who is listening to us, but reading William Shakespeare is really fun. If you are
hmm,
able to, because you are putting effort to understand him, you are not reading some English writing which is of your era,
hmm.
right? So there is so much depth, and you have to pay attention,
So
real,
have you
real
read
attention there.
Julius Caesar?
Yes, one book,
I
and
love
I'm
that
trying to
one.
read. You love that one? You know what? Now, if you love that part, you may love
Hmm.
Hamlet, and there are a lot of adaptations from different dramas. So yeah,
Hamlet.
it takes effort.
Okay, that's a very
Hamlet.
popular Shakespeare writing, I think.
Yes,
Hamlet.
yes, it's also a drama. Yes.
Hmm.
So I have to study in my master, so I'm going through that book at the moment. I read some 2 pages a day, 3 pages a
Hmm.
day. That's what I do.
So how do you get past that complicated writing? I think because like the
Internet, internet,
hmm
internet. I first I try to understand it by myself. I
hmm
underline almost whole book, and then I
hmm
go to translation which we could understand. Then I try to read it. So a lot of effort. So that's why I'm able to track only 2 to 3 pages, like
hmm.
a week or maybe a day.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. So do you
Hmm.
have any
But you
solid
see,
plan for like you
solid
know?
plan. I wish I could share my solid plan here, but I'm really scared of my future. It happens all the time.
Hmm.
Sometimes I feel really nice that things are going smoothly, and then I start thinking, what if it doesn't work out? What
Hmm.
if I'm not able to? Because I see a lot of English content creators, their channels are dying you know
Hmm.
and then I think about myself that why people would approach to me, but then people approach to me, then I again become positive. Maybe I can nail it this time. So I don't have any solid plan, but whatever I will do, it has to do with English, because I'm just
Hmm.
spending too much time with stories, with media. So maybe I'll consider going with that one.
Personally, you're my favorite YouTuber when it comes to the
Oh,
English
thank you.
content. I told my mom also, like, I discussed these things with my mother, and I told her, like, Roshan is my favorite when it comes to, like, interacting with people because you're very knowledgeable and you're the kind of person who, like, always has something to say. And it's a very quality content, I would say, because you're the kind of person that somebody could have a debate with for like hours and hours,
Yeah.
and it could just go on and like be very interesting, and that's the quality that's very rare to find. So I think that's why your channel is doing really good, because people resonate with you in that way, and also they find you interesting. Because when I was watching your podcast, I was immersed in it, and I didn't even realize, like, it's coming to an end, which is rare for
Keep
me. I
going, keep going. Thank you so much. Actually, I think when you spend so much time with the story, you have just got a lot to talk. And I
Hmm,
don't talk these kind of things with my real life friends. So I'm
hmm,
always fresh, come up with some ideas. I'm always ready. Because we talk about cricket, right? My
hmm.
real life friends. We talk about normal life, but nobody is interested in stories.
So yeah,
Maybe,
thank you so
maybe
much
yes.
for being on my channel, Roshan. Love your content. Like I said, you are obviously my favorite YouTuber in this field, and hopefully we'll have more and more meaningful conversations in the upcoming days. So
Yeah,
until
thank you so
then,
much, Nidhi.
yeah, take care and have a nice day
All right.
ahead.